Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ruth Chen. I'm an ophthalmology registrar and a teaching fellow here in QMC. Thank you all for being here today. Today I shall be talking about addressing the medical students' needs using Maslow's hierarchy of needs during their ophthalmology placement in QMC and our research behind it. Here's an overview of my talk, looking at the background and objectives of the intervention, methods used, results, and conclusions. I would like you to note that Maslow's hierarchy has not been described in the literature with regards to undergraduate ophthalmology training. We believe it is the first for us at QMC to adopt this in ophthalmology. So a bit on the background, feedback from previous students and teaching faculty reflected some problems. Students commented, "We don't know how to use the slit lamp. We get ignored in clinic. We don't see any clinical signs, and the specialty lacks action." Whilst ophthalmology is predominantly outpatient-based, the clinical work heavily depends on the slit lamp, which students have no knowledge of. And as a result, lacking action is likely to have arisen from missed opportunities for learning. Teaching faculty felt that the busy clinics meant difficulty showing students signs on the slit lamp, and its small presence in the curriculum usually meant that most students weren't interested and won't engage. So to approach these problems, we employed Maslow's hierarchy of needs by designing a new session, Practical Ophthalmology, and formally tested its effectiveness. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, coined in 1943, shows that basic needs at the bottom, once met, allows students to progress up to psychological needs and self-actualization at the top, which is taught to be as fulfilling your potential. In reality, students commonly felt ignored, and although unintentional to clinician or student, students can't really get past the basic needs of the hierarchy during placement, which limits learning opportunities. So the goal then is to motivate the student up the pyramid, and we recognize that it is difficult to reach self-actualization at the top within 2 weeks. So instead, issues on student engagement and slit lamp use were addressed to achieve psychological needs. Our novel intervention titled Practical Ophthalmology is a 75-minute session that takes place on the first day of placement in the outpatient department. And with 3 parts to the session, I like to start off with this song in mind before anything else. So, thank you the song. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Getting to know you, getting to hold like me. Getting to know you, singing my way when I sing. What a song to sing, like a cup of tea. Okay, so for those of you familiar with The King and I, Anna sings this to strike up an affectionate relationship with the family of the King of Siam. And of course, I'm not about to break into a song with my students, that would just be odd. But definitely the first 20 minutes is spent getting to know the students and for the students to know me. And I encourage honest sharing of their fears and goals of the placement and the specialty, which then gives me the relationship to foster a relationship and partnership for their learning. Remembering their names is also a very conscious thing that is done by the first day, and this helps to fulfill the second and the third levels of Maslow's. So the students are then introduced to the slit lamp as shown here. Okay, and you can see here that students are able to view a live image of the examined eye on the screen. They also have hands-on experience to examine each other's eyes on the slit lamp as they're being taught. The session then concludes with a departmental tour where they are shown other allied professionals within the department. And throughout this session, Maslow's hierarchy of physiological, safety, belongingness, and esteem are achieved. So feedback was collected via a questionnaire after 2 weeks to explore their mindset and practical usefulness of the intervention during the placement. And our results showed that over a 3-month period, we had 39 students, of which 90% responded. And all students found the Getting to Know You and departmental tour really useful for orientation. And most of them felt more confident with clinical skills after the slit lamp teaching, with more than half of them actually having observed more than 10 clinical signs during the placement. So quite a big achievement. And you can see from this graph, this first graph here where my mouse is, that 89% of students found the slit lamp demonstration useful. And interestingly, despite slit lamp not being part of the curriculum, on this second graph, 83% wanted more hands-on experience. So to summarize with some key points, this practical ophthalmology session motivated students to achieve the psychological levels of Maslow's hierarchy. It is the first of its kind that a validated study has been done to assess the effectiveness of Maslow's in a niche specialty like ophthalmology. And our intervention showed that it empowered students to achieve belongingness and esteem needs, maximizing the learning opportunities. It is now part of our timetable. And I believe Maslow's needs can be employed in other specialties where students may feel lost or underappreciated, in hope to transform them from this to happy, keen, and enthusiastic learners. And with that, I would like to thank League of Friends for donation of the teaching slit lamp, which has been instrumental in this intervention. Lisa Evans for organizing the timetable for the session. And Nick and UMAC for support of this project. And of course, thank you, my audience, for your kind attention. I'd like to